in Rivers State. You have Labour threatening action if Rivers emergency rule is not reversed. You also have Afenifere faulting the declaration of the state of emergency rule in Rivers State, saying that it goes against the 1999 constitution. That is what Afenifere is saying concerning this. And one would wonder, now that Labour is getting into the mix, saying that if the government does not reverse this in reasonable time, they will be forced to shut down the economy. I'll start with you, Baramasi.
Okay, I think Labour is demanding for illegality, as far as I'm concerned, because the pronouncement was made by the president as required by the constitution, and it has been approved also by the legislature, and I think the procedure has been followed appropriately. If Labour has any issues with that, I think the Labour should proceed to the court rather than trying to create a state of anarchy around, because I don't think that Labour needs to get into the mix of this. Besides, these are not directly Labour issues. These are issues that has to do with governance and government issues. So Labour should focus more on issues that affect workers. I mean, there are a handful of them that they have not addressed. So going into this as it is right now, I would expect that Labour, if they have issues at all with it, they should proceed to the court and try to test this pronouncement in the court and see. Let's see what the court will give as their position on it.
I mean, I don't know just on this. Labour is arguing that this particular action of the federal government is against the democratic integrity of the nation. That is what their stance is, and that is why they have an issue with this.
Well, I agree that Labour has no need of issuing threats on this issue. You can give a press statement without issuing threats of a shutdown of the economy. Is uncalled for. Labour, as much as we appreciate, personally I've said it a couple of times here, that I appreciate that Labour is one of the forces that have stepped in, to keep this administration on our toes. So I appreciate that, but they should not meddle too much into political issues, so that they won't leave their core, how do I describe it? Responsibilities.
Okay.
So that they won't be seen as being partisan. You can go against it without threatening economic shutdown because of that. Then I differ a little with my colleague when he said the procedure has been followed. No, not entirely. In pronouncing state of emergency, nothing wrong. But in the suspension of the elected officials is unconstitutional. Then the National Assembly, they did not debate it. Like the Senate went into closed session, came back, even those who are trying to make their opposition known, they were not allowed. So we can't say that the procedure was entirely, open. We can't say that it was flawless, but the Labour Union has no business issuing threats because of that.
So you seem to agree with Afenifere that the action of the presidency in terms of what happened in Rivers State is unconstitutional? Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes, I said it last week. I believe that it was an overkill. The president, a fortnight ago, when we're discussing this same issue, I said the president has the choice of either being the father of the nation or the APC president. And sincerely, my personal opinion is that in this emergency rule and how he went about it, he has chosen to be the APC president instead.
Interesting perspective this morning. Of course, we'll be touching on this and more. But I think you have a
Yes,
reaction.
I do.
Yeah.
Really, because I think that talking about illegality or constitutionality of the issues that we are talking about, only the courts can make such pronouncements. We as speakers, commentators, analysts, and even lawyers can only serve our opinion to the people. But constitutionality or not, such pronouncement will be made by the court. And that's why I've insisted on the position of people going around to test this in the court. If we have maybe, like the state governors have decided, PDP governors have decided to go to the court, good. I think there are other people too who have also decided to go to the court, very good. But when we come out and we make pronouncement like something is unconstitutional, I think that is an overreach on our own part as speakers and commentators.
So you mean that people cannot have a sense of what is right and what is wrong without a court?
No. You can have a sense of what is right and what is wrong, but you cannot make pronouncement of constitutionality or not. That is reserved for the court to do.
Interesting perspective this morning. Do you agree with his assertion?
I don't. You know why I don't?
Okay.
I've had a lot of lawyers come even on live TV to say something is not constitutional.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is only when the Supreme Court has pronounced it as either constitutional or not, if you defer to now publicly say so, that's when there could be reservation. But at this point, my position, even when you go to the court, you argue the constitutionality of the issue.
Right.
My lawyer will stand up and say, "Oh, my lord, it is not constitutional." Your lawyer will call, "My lord, it is constitutional." You understand? Then the judge will now take a position. So, but until then,
The judge is the final.
so the judge is the final. But we can still express our position pending the finality of the case in court.
In
Or wherever.
a moment,